The NCAA basketball tournament, also known as March Madness, is a time of excitement, upsets, and most importantly, the quest for the perfect bracket. For years, the NCAA and many others have solicited a cash prize for the perfect bracket. Every year, millions of people rush to fill out an NCAA tournament bracket, and to no avail, no one has figured out how to make a perfect bracket. So recently I've become curious, why is it so incredibly complex to make the perfect bracket? And what can anyone do to overcome these insurmountable odds? One of the main factors that makes creating a perfect bracket so tough is the sheer number of variables at play. With 68 teams competing in a single elimination tournament, there's a staggering 9.2 quintillion possible combinations of outcomes. To put this into perspective, I ran some odds on some other hard to accomplish tasks. The chances of winning the lottery is 1 in 292.2 million. The chances of winning an Olympic gold medal is 1 in 662,000. The odds of dying in a shark attack is 1 in 7 million. The odds of getting struck by lightning twice, 1 in 9 million. The odds of being hit by a meteorite are 1 in 840 million. And finally, the odds of being killed by a vending machine are 1 in 112 million. To sum all those odds up, you have a better chance of winning the lottery multiple times than picking a perfect bracket by chance alone. Beyond the mind-boggling number of potential outcomes, there are also numerous other complexities to consider. Factors such as team performance throughout the seasons, players' injuries, coaching strategy, and even the psychological aspect of the tournament pressures all come into play when trying to predict the right team to win. When it comes to picking the right teams to win, it's not just about looking at their regular season records. You have to also consider the strength of the schedule, head-to-head matchups, and how teams perform under pressure. It's a delicate balance of statistical analysis and gut instinct. Here I have a graph of the NCAA tournament opening round win percentage by seed. What you can see here is that the higher the seed on the first round, the higher percentage chance that they have of winning. As the seeds get lower, the lower percentage chance that a team has to win in the opening round of the tournament. What we'll notice is as the tournament continues on, the lower the seed as the rounds continue, the lower chance that they have of making it all the way to the end. What you'll see from the graphic displayed is that seeds 1 through 12 have some percentage chance of making it to the Elite 8, whereas seeds 13 to 16 have little to no chance of making it that far into the tournament as the rounds continue. The chances of a 16 seed making it all the way to the Final Four? Good luck. The only corollary to these data points, and this is a big corollary, is the unpredictability of the March Madness tournament. Upsets are a hallmark of the tournament. But first, let's define what an upset means. An upset is a term used often to describe a situation where the perceived underdog surpasses expectations and achieves victory over a team that's predicted to win based on factors such as regular season performance, seeding, or historical success, with lower seeded teams frequently toppling their higher seeded opponents. Upsets add an element of surprise and showcase the unpredictability of the NCAA tournament and why it's so hard to pick the perfect bracket. The following graph demonstrates the amount of upsets over each round over the years. The biggest takeaway from this chart is that in the first round, the most amount of upsets happen, which messes up people's brackets most of the time. As the tournament progresses through each round, the second round, the Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four, the amount of upsets significantly decrease. And the problem with this is, did you pick the right teams to make it through the earlier parts of the rounds? So here are some tips on picking your perfect bracket. Tip number 1, at least one number 1 seed should make it to the Final Four. Since the NCAA tournament began in the field in 1979, only 3 Final Fours have not included at least one number 1 seed, 1980, 2006, and 2011. Tip number 2. Realistically, don't pick a 16th seed to win a game. Only 2 16th seeds have ever knocked off a number 1 seed, making number 1 seeds 152 all time. This only happened with Farley Dickinson over Purdue in 2023 and UMBC over Virginia in 2018. And tip number 3, a little research won't hurt. It's hard to watch every team that makes the NCAA tournament. Doing a little research on each team would not hurt your chances whatsoever. Regardless of your bracket, don't get your hopes up. The unpredictability of the NCAA March Madness tournament is clearly unpredictable.